Finally tonight, a look at engaging more people in the political process. Citizen Detroit is a 5-year-old organization that works to help people feel invested in decisions that are being made in the city. The organization just got a new grant for $1.5 million from the Knight Foundation to bring more people to the table. I had a great conversation with Sheila Cockrell, former Detroit City Councilwoman and Executive Director of Citizen Detroit, and Katie Locker, the Detroit Program Director for the Knight Foundation, about ways they're bringing more voices to the table.
I want to talk about what Citizen Detroit is doing because it's talking about getting people more civically engaged.
Correct.
And that's what you've been doing for the last 5 years, but now it's kind of this 2.0. So
Absolutely.
Give everyone an idea of what Citizen Detroit is doing now and where it's going to go.
Well, Dr. Irv Reed from Wayne State, President Emeritus of Wayne State, and I started Citizen Detroit to provide Detroit residents with trustworthy, factually based information about public policies and issues that are facing the city, and to give Detroiters a chance to make their own decisions about candidates running for office. Knight's been a sponsor from the very beginning. Our first $10,000 came from the Knight Foundation. We've been able to build on that and really want to take the platforms that we've developed really to the next level with more research, more creative games and activities for people to learn about how government works and how important democracy flourishes when people are engaged and make informed decisions. That's what we're all about.
It's really kind of connecting people,
yes,
into the system and making them feel that they're a part of it. So, Katie, what is it that Knight found so attractive to this, and then helping build it even further with this huge infusion of money?
Well, Knight's history is journalism, but our mission is informed and engaged communities, which obviously journalism is a part of. But really, we want to say, how do we contribute to democratic engagement and community information at a time when Detroit is undergoing so much change? There's people feeling left out. There's people feeling like they don't have all the information. And so, as Sheila said, this is the end of 4 years of investment. Started with $10,000. We just announced $1.5 million because what Sheila and her team are doing is making sure Detroiters have access to quality, nonpartisan information that they can trust, and then, even more importantly, that then they can then talk to each other about it in a respectful way and see, what do we do next? What are we supposed to do with this information, and how do we engage with our government, with each other, to continue to make Detroit better?
Sheila, who's coming to these events that you're doing? And talk to me a little bit about what some of the concerns are that people are when they're coming in.
Our base is registered voters in Detroit, so we have collected data that gives us information on people who we call high performance voters, to people who are registered but rarely vote or don't vote, and we try to create opportunities for people to come together around issues that people care about. Education and safety are two issues that people in the city care deeply about across generations. A lot of our more high performance voters in Detroit are older African American women. Every single session, the question is, we want more young people here. We want to be talking to young people.
How do you get young people interested in the process?
Well, we have a number of young people who participate as facilitators and are part of, and certainly in a lot of young people, helping create the experiences, and it really is an intergenerational learning experience. We're working on a thing now around there was a manual that the school system had years ago, a citizen's manual, that we're looking to update to the 21st century. So I have people saying, what do you know about the Detroit plan from 1963? And it sounds a lot like what people are trying to do today. And my thing was, yes, but that was more about urban renewal and keeping some people out of neighborhoods or shutting down neighborhoods. That's not clearly the direction today. So it's a chance to give young people ways to learn the history, and for older people to learn that there's new history being made, and what makes Detroit a vital, vibrant community is the intergenerational sharing and working together to create the next Detroit 2.0.
And making sure that people have access to this kind of information.
Yeah, I gotta say, we had this event last week. There was an announcement of the grant, but also a celebration of Detroiters being engaged. And Mr. Jones was there from Clement Gardens, right? Conant Gardens. Mr. Jones had a story to tell, and he was in his 80s. He told us all that. And there were 20-something, 30-something, 40-something who can benefit from what Mr. Jones has to say. And then I think, between generations, also there's a real appreciation by younger Detroiters that there's some people who stuck it out here when it wasn't a big, exciting, we're revitalizing, all these kinds of messages now. They stuck it out, they saw what's happened, they've learned a lot, and we have to learn from them, and we have to respect their knowledge
institutional knowledge.
And that's where Sheila's leadership, and then the grant allows her to hire a team that is a lot younger. They make Sheila a little uncomfortable sometimes, but that's what we need. We got to respect incredible history of leadership, and then we have to figure out how the next generation uses that knowledge to move forward.
And pivotal the political process and looking at 2018 as well and getting people engaged.
Oh, very much so. We have a website called informdetroit.org. We are going to offer everybody who's running for any office that Detroit is going to vote on a chance to make a 3-minute video, and then we need to market that heavily so that people know where to go get it. Last year we had a great collaboration with WDET, with the Michigan Chronicle, with Channel 4, and with the Free Press, and DET was able to really use the videos. They had over 25,000 people look at the videos on their website. So people want to make informed decisions. We're going to make the effort to try to get a video of everybody running for judge that's going to be on a Detroit ballot, because that's something people never know who to vote for.
You know what, either they skip it or they just say,
exactly.
Well, you know, I don't even know.
And that diminishes engagement if people feel that I don't know enough to vote on something. So really this notion that democracy thrives, and since we know democracy is under threat right now, people are deeply interested in being more directly engaged themselves, but people want to know in the era of fake news that I'm getting real trustworthy facts. So there's not a thing we put out that we don't have multi-source. You may not like the fact, but Jack, it's a fact.
Yeah.
So you can deal with that.
It's always great to talk to Sheila Cockrell and to Katie Locker. To learn more about Citizen Detroit, just head to MiWeek.org.